Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, welcome to Music Connect Africa. Yes, we are the hub for music industry news, tips, insights, and as well, we take a look into the entrepreneurial professionals who are the driving force behind the scenes. Of course, it is. Today we are highlighting Sundri Feeling. Sundri Feeling out of Reunion Island. And you are currently listening to one of her gems in the back.
Smiling when your heart is weary, first and forever.
Well. Sanji grew up in France between a mixed race family, okay, an English bilingual school, and especially around her father's discotheque. We are going to be dabbling into the early life of Sandra Feeling to talk about Reunion Island and what are some of the things that keep her going. Yeah, in this momentous time as well. So, yes, you are listening to Music Connect Africa, where it is that we do not disappoint. And each and every week, we give you exactly a little bit more than you actually have requested. So, once again, welcome to Music Connect Africa. We are the hub for music industry news, tips, insights, and today we're going to take a look into our entrepreneur, Sandra Feeling, a music composer, writer. She is a professional, and we're going to take a look at what she does as a driving force behind the scenes. Later, we are going to tap in, of course, with his producer, Killer Image, as well. Okay? It gives me great pleasure to highlight the players who exercise tenacity, drive, and whom create smoother operative system for the masses and across various playing field. We are going to tap in with Sandra Feeling in less than 60 seconds. Keep vibing.
At the table of life, we all deserve a treat. Whenever you see my fate is in your hand.
Hello.
Whatever.
Hello, Dr. Empress Rose. Hello, everybody. Greetings.
Yes, we would like to make sure that we are able to hear you as well. So put your as you close as possible to the microphone. I am so happy that
Yes.
I am so happy that you're here. Let me tell you, I have been dreaming of this interview. There's quite a few times that we were supposed to connect on an interview and something with my schedule and your schedule, but I am so happy that you're here because I would like to share not just myself knowing of your music, but to the world who Sandra Feeling is and to let them know. Listen, go check her out. She is happening. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Empress Rose Green. You are wonderful. You're a wonderful presenter. It's such a pleasure to tell you about my music. So yeah. There we are. Let's go.
Yes. So, within my introduction, I introduce you to our audience that you grew up in France between a mixed race family, of course, and we were talking about getting into or wanting to know more in terms of being around your father's discotheque. Yeah, those discotheque years. So, I would like to know, in terms of you growing up around your father's discotheque, or talk to me about an early Sandra Feeling, where it is that you got into this environment where you already you listening to music. Not everyone is. We have artists who have never actually thought to themselves that, you know what, I would be a singer because it wasn't part of their childhood. And as they grew, they were able to. But it appears that from a very young age. You have, there are various things that you could tap into in terms of the music itself and say, you know what, we got this. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Working with my dad from a very young age, you know, as a DJ or behind the bar or just walking around the club to, I was just a little girl, but I felt like I was in charge.
Yeah.
And walking around and checking what the guests, the clients were doing. Yeah, I felt some kind of responsibility, and I was very very happy to spend all this time with my dad. Most of the other little girls of my age were asleep at hours where I was working with him, and it was a wonderful time to discover about nightlife, human nature, and of course this music environment because I guess my ears opened from that very early age to all kind of music styles, and yeah, and also there was this little stage, in the club, and it was my first stage. I used
Mm-hmm.
to do my own performance, private performance, on this little stage, and I remember, when at the end of the night, when everybody was gone, it was time to clean the place, and I used to dance around with my broom. I used to, I had the dance floor for myself, so I could choose whatever I wanted to listen to. And it was great memories with my father, with my brothers and sisters, because of course we were all involved in the family business. So I guess having this little stage for myself, this family music environment, it did nurture something within me, and I was secretly dreaming of becoming a singer someday. I was secretly visualizing myself in huge stadiums and huge audiences dancing and singing along with me. It felt more like a daydream, and it took me a long time before I really decided to embrace that dream and make it come true. And it was really worth
Um,
embracing it and making it true.
yeah. I heard as well that it's interesting. I spoke with I interviewed a young lady recently who actually grew up listening to Jim Fortune um, as well, and he's one of the persons that actually influenced you as a singer.
Yes, yes. Jean, I would say Jean Fortuné
Fortunate,
in
yes.
Creole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so his name means fortunate, and he was the first artist on Reunion Island who actually invited me to join his project as a backing vocal singer and as a dancer. So it was really my first professional experience. I've been touring all around the island with him, and at that time, I still was a beginner, and I still needed to work on my voice a lot. But I was there. I was giving it everything. I was giving everything I could, and dancing with all the energy that I had, and yeah, that was it. That was my way. Given everything was my way to compensate maybe some technical things that I still needed to work on at that time. But I'm very grateful for having worked with him, and yeah, he trusted me, and it was the beginning of my dream come true.
Um, throughout your career, am I correct that you have released 3 albums?
That's it,
Okay,
exactly. Yes.
so you released Accords in 2014,
Hmm.
Dancing Souls in 2018, and we're here today, Sundri, that you've released, well, in 2022 as well. Well, throughout the
Yes.
three albums, have you had an opportunity where you as an artist have recognized whether it's your production growth, your musical growth, or your physical capability as well? I would think that your vocally you become better each and every time. Um, which of the three have you seen any growth within those areas, or would you say that there were growth in all three areas: vocally, um, writing, and production?
Yeah, well, in all three aspects, of course. In terms of production, the first album as a self-produced album, independent, as an independent artist, I was really discovering about this industry, discovering how to everything, the huge work that is required behind music and before you can actually launch your CD. So I was discovering while doing everything, and then for the second and third album, I got to meet different producers. So of course, huge, wonderful producers. I'm talking about Sylvin Marc, a bass player, international bass player, for the second album, and the third album was with Mishkomba. I'm still working with him, Mr. Mishkomba, also an amazing international level bass player. So working with those two experienced producers really helped me to go one level above. And then in terms of vocals, um, well, I'm a hard worker, and I really love to feel how I improve my vocal technique. Um,
Mm-hmm.
are you still there?
I'm
Oh
here.
yeah,
I'm
okay.
here. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm giving you
Yeah,
time.
I'm really keen. I was saying I'm really keen on uh, feeling, discovering the amazing possibilities of human voice. So I've been working on, whistle voice techniques, developing my range from the lower keys to the higher keys, and it's developing, vocal effects of every kind. And I really love to do that. It's continuous work in progress. And in terms of songwriting, I've also been able to work with notorious songwriters, French songwriters, who came over to Reunion Island. And yeah, I must say they helped me to use to stay true to my artistic direction, the message I want to share, and still improve the technique behind. Because, well, I do believe there is a special tradition in songwriting, French songwriting, and yeah, I was very lucky to be able to learn with those great songwriters.
Okay, we're going to jump to a break. We're going to take our listening audience to listen to one of your renditions, and we'll be right back with some more questions.
I don't really know you, but I know that we share the same story, the same story. Brown star, making your way through the white sky, smiling when your heart is weary, first and forever, my night butterfly. Brown stars, little black girl, dancing in the street, hungry hands with nothing to eat. In my dreams, so often we meet. Your struggle is mine, like niggas in
Yes, yes, yes. I tell you, I am diving into this music that you have going on here, and I tell you, very rich, very rich. I am loving, and my audience as well. I having awesome time listening to Brown Star. Brown Star. I am really loving it.
Yeah.
So we talked about you being recognizing your musical growth and in terms of production and otherwise as well. Of course, there are other aspects of the recording. It's not just being in the studio and doing production wise as well. We also talk about working with the incredible bassist Mishkova. He has worked with Ray Charles. Am I correct? He has worked with Ray Charles and
Yeah.
like Dee Dee
Yes.
Bridgewater. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, incredible. I must say, incredible bassist as well. So, um, during the period that you have worked with him, what would you say is the greatest one of the lessons that stand out for you with working with somebody of that magnitude, something that you left with and you will always remember and cherish, out of being able to work with somebody on that scale.
Yeah. There's one thing that really I'll always remember with Sylvain Marc. When we were at the studio, suddenly he stopped everything and
Mm-hmm.
he said to me, Sundri, give me your pure voice, give me your purest vocals. Get rid of all the effects, get rid of the technique. Just give me your voice, your feelings, your guts. Give me who you are. And I felt like the earth was shaking under my feet.
Wow.
Because, sometimes as a singer, knowing that you have technical capabilities is also a way to to get more self confidence. And he was bringing me into another different area, into my own area, actually. He was bringing me to consolidate who I am, what is my unique voice color, and um, just only this without any makeup, and I did it. It took me a few minutes to focus, and I did it, and tears came down, and it was a unique, wonderful moment that I will always remember.
That's
And then,
awesome. Mm-hmm.
thinking about Mishkomba, the first times we were working together, I felt amazed and blessed because I was reading and singing songs to him for the first time, and we were about to see how we could arrange all of this in terms of bass and instruments, and I was so impressed because this is where I understood that because this man has been working with so many stars all from all around the world, the U.S. and French artists, and I mean he could feel, he could understand how I wanted to express my music. I mean he could anticipate, he could read my mind and translate it into music with his bass. And this got me also so emotional. And I guess this is really a rare talent of big musicians that are capable. of putting the talent at the service of your project. Their talent will serve your project and and make it even better. They will add. He's adding his technique, his sensitivity, and he's allowing the original idea that I have in mind. He's enlightening it. Yeah, he's gonna enlighten it and make it even more beautiful than anything that I would have imagined before. That
Now,
is pure.
in terms of like some of your accomplishments as well, based on your productions, Accords, your album Accords back in 2014, it was nominated in the United States by the International Acoustic Music Awards and Voices of the Indian Ocean, which gave, would you say actually that it helped to propel your career, and what did it do for you on the island? Were you able to more have regular appearances? Did it help you in media or even a bigger world in terms of your advancement of your singing career?
Mm, yes, 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 absolutely. Getting this nomination definitely draw some attention on my project, on my music, and yeah, suddenly I was getting some media coverage, some radio coverage on the island, and people were wondering, well, who's that singer from Reunion Island, and she's getting something in the U.S., and how come we don't know her? So yeah, it was nice to see the the immediate impact that this nomination had on especially my media coverage on Reunion Island, and then little by little, I'm sure it also opened doors on the export side.
So were you now able to book more shows as well? And what are like,
Yes.
um, some of the experiences that you've had outside Reunion Island? In other words, the other stages that you have performed outside your Reunion Island.
Well, outside Reunion Island, my first tour was on Mauritius Island, so very close to Reunion Island.
Very
And then
beautiful.
in 2017 and 2018, sorry, I was in South Korea, and I was selected for for a music market. And with this music market, there was a jazz festival, and with the contacts we had, I was able to go back there the year after. And yeah, so South Korea, and then there was South Africa, Mozambique, and I have a special connection to Canary Islands because I've been there 4 times, including this year. I was there for a 1 month residency, writing residency on the island of La Palma, which is one of the 7 Canary Islands, Spanish islands, yeah. And yeah, it was my fourth time there, and there's something going on with the audience. I mean, they are they're liking what I'm doing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So it's great as well to know that you're on Canary Island because, again, we talk about the musical growth, your writing skills as a composer, and production wise, and being able to see in that capacity that you were able to grow. But of course, getting that additional growth in terms of spending time away from music and visiting Canary Island. What exactly did that do for you, being away from
And
music and focusing on where
the
you know?
first the first most evident thing is that I'm starting to write in Spanish. So I already write songs in French, English, and Creole.
Mm-hmm.
I can sing in Italian and Portuguese, and but writing in Spanish is was my new challenge, and I must admit, maybe it never would have happened without this residency invitation. And so yeah, I'm discovering the musicality of Spanish language, and the specific rhymes, the way the language Spanish sounds just when you speak it, and how you I can apply this to music. Um, then I took some flamenco classes in Canaria, so this is gonna add something to the show, because as a dancer, I really like to mix singing and dancing in every single concert. So there's gonna be some flamenco inspiration in the next Spanish song, and yeah, it's you know um, meeting new people from the industry. Um, I've yeah the I see people who can feel what I want to share with my music, and they are touched by what I bring on the stage, and they want to help me to grow. So yeah, there's a few people over there on Canary Islands that I'm keeping the connection with, and actually, I hope to go back there by the end of this year. Fingers crossed.
Well, it sounds fun. I've never actually been. I've been to Mauritius and your
Mhm.
neighbor. Very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And doesn't get much more than that. All right. Well, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
I don't really know you, but I know that we share the same story. The same story, same story. Aujourd'hui, c'est pour elle que le soleil s'est levé, de l'eau dans les yeux, la soif de tout quitter. Elle roule, ça résonne, ce fou rire qui revient, le vent dans sa tête, que plus rien ne retient. C'est ça, ce petit dans mon cœur. C'est ça, ça caresse mon corps, ça ouvre mes poumons. C'est ça.
So, I was in the background. I was speaking with my assistant, and we were talking about your range. As you like, your soul just speaks to anyone who is listen. I would love to just visit a concert and see you in motion, because you already feel what the music is telling you without actually being present. But I would love to see you performing that performance, because I know it has
Look,
to give.
someday,
Yes.
maybe sooner than later.
Yes, yes. I find that is listening to all your songs, like even if you don't speak, even if you have your French songs and the person's, it's like it's just beers to your soul. Yeah, beers to your
Mm.
soul, for a lack of a better word, pop jazzy.
Yeah.
Pop jazzy
Thank
recordings
you.
as well. Yes. Now, in terms of the album that recently, came out, would you say? And I ask, this is a question I have for artists over time, because some artists don't actually realize it as well. But do you realize that you have produced an album 2014, 20? Is that every 4 years that you actually produce an album? Now that I'm thinking of it, are you producing albums every 4 years?
Well, yeah, I'm constantly creating, and I remember when I released the album in 2018. Um, the day it was released, I was I was already thinking of the next one. And yeah, music creation and music production is part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it will continue. Right now, I'm working on my future project,
Yes.
and making new contacts for this new project somewhere in the Canary Islands.
Yes.
And yeah, the show must go on.
Let's talk about the kind of, recently you visited the Canary Islands where you had a retreat or something of that nature.
Absolutely, yeah. I had a 1 month artist residency.
Yes.
There, I was invited by the a little town, a wonderful town in the island of La Palma. Canaria is a group of 7 islands,
Mm-hmm.
and La Palma is one of the smallest ones and one of the most natural ones. And last year, I performed in 22. I performed in Canaria already, in another island, and I met this woman. She fell in love with my project, and she said she wanted to support me in her own way, and she organized everything for me to come over to La Palma with Mishko, the bass player and composer I'm working with, and it was wonderful to have 1 full month to really dive into my creative process, to dive into my personal life, my personal emotions, and understand what's happening inside of me, and then deciding what I want to share and how I want to share it through music, through songwriting, through melodies, and yeah, having 1 month full time just to dive into your own process, it is so amazing. It's such a blessing, and yeah, one thing I'd like to add is the the starting point of this album is the name of a flower that we find here in Reunion Island. It's
Mm-hmm.
called sensitive. It's the
Oh.
name of a
Mm-hmm.
tiny, tiny purple flower. And what's specific about this flower is when you touch it, the leaves close themselves.
Oh.
it's
Nice.
it's amazing. And I have this connection with this flower because I was such an introvert. Well, and I still am an introvert, but I mean I've worked on it. And I was so shy, an introvert, and I related to this flower. I still relate to this flower, and I wanted to use it as a starting point for the writing process, as a way to invite people to connect to what's inside. Because when the flower closes, I mean, when the leaves close, it's like a clear message. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. Leave my room. Leave. And no, I'm not ready. So diving into that sensation, that personal experience, is a way to connect with who you are inside. What is it? The part of yourself that needs some protection, that needs to stay away from the others, and thanks to this residency, this writing residency, I really dug into it, and I connected to something more powerful. Um, I felt that, yeah, I already knew that I have something powerful inside, but knowing it and embracing it is a different thing. Embracing it and allowing yourself to shine with it, with your radiance, with your power, with your inner sunshine, and that was the gift that the gift of this process, this personal process, that I'm going to share in the future album through a progression of songs that range from the sensitive little flower to the powerful radiant sunshine.
Very nice,
This is
sir.
it.
I love it. I love it. So we have, our questions as it's very African centered as well. One of the first questions that we have before we close out, if you had to choose a particular country that you have thought about, I'd love to go to this African country and perform. What is that one country that you would like to visit sometime in the
The
near
USA.
future? Mm-hmm.
The USA, yeah. Did I understand right? The question was not about Africa. Is that it?
No, the question is about Africa. What is that one country?
Oh,
What is that one
about
country
Africa.
in Africa that you would like to visit? You have always thought about being there. You have never been there, but you would like to visit
It's actually Tanzania.
Tanzania. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
Tanzania.
it's amazing because my dad has been mentioning this country since I was a kid. He's been telling me about his dream to go there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing opportunities of going there. I've seen recently, there's things going on that side of the continent, and maybe my dream will soon come true. Tanzania.
Yes, yes. Very, very rich in culture as well. Um, yes, and I think you would have it. There's a music scene there that is very welcoming to the music that you do as well. So yes, that would be awesome. Now, what is your favorite meal? And when you tour, is this a meal that you can prepare for yourself on the road, or do you actually have to be at home in Reunion Island or at a set place in order to get this favorite meal? To that. Hmm.
Yeah. My favorite Creole dish is we call it civet.
Hmm.
So it's octopus, octopus prepared with a special mix of tomato and onions and wine, and that's really my favorite one. Unfortunately, I cannot really prepare it when I go abroad because there's a specific quality of kind of octopus that I need to find, and I can hardly find when I tour.
Hmm.
And then there's something about Reunion Island tomatoes.
Yes.
We have the kind of tomatoes we have here have very little juice, but a very specific flavor. And I've never found them abroad,
You never found it
and it
anywhere
gives
else.
that
Yeah.
specific taste to whatever we cook here. So no, it's impossible.
I think when I visit Reunion Island next time, I would like to be able to delve into the tomatoes because I've never actually taken notice that they're not as, I'd like to learn a little history,
Yeah, let's do that.
a little more history based on, like fruits and vegetables because that's my life right there, the fruits and vegetables and nature, so to
Oh,
speak. Yes, yes, yes. If you had to perform with one African artist, um, who would that be?
Um, uh,
If you had to collaborate on your upcoming
uh,
project and to perform with them, who would it be?
yeah. Let me think. Um, uh, there's so many.
One, the
Let me
favorite.
think. Let me think. The first one, Ismael, I would say.
Who?
Ismael. Ismael Lo.
Oh, oh, Ismail. Oh,
He sings that song that goes Africa, Africa. Does it ring a bell?
wow. Okay.
It's one of his songs that is, I think, the most famous,
Hmm.
and I love the emotion that he conveys through his music and his voice.
Yes. Of course, it is that. Similarly, it's what your music is about as well. The
Yeah.
passion of the music and being able to exhume it, the relevance
Mm.
to an audience. That's awesome. Yes, we are going to vibe out with Tiana, but before you do, I want you to tell our audience about the writing on Tiana. How did you come up with the production and the writing, and what, you know, the special moment in terms of writing this song and what it's all about?
Mm. Yeah. The writing process was intense. It was night by night, over several nights, and yeah, Tiana is the story of a slave from being in Ireland with origins with a background from Madagascar. Actually, Tianao in Malagasy means I love you, and Tiana is a very common name in Madagascar. So I imagined, I created this story, but I also felt that even though the story was made up,
Mm-hmm.
I was connecting to a soul.
Yes.
Maybe her name was Tiana, I don't know, but I felt connected to the soul of this woman slave running for her freedom. I felt connected to the story of this woman running in the forest um, um, with the master running after her. The master got her, they killed her son, and she keeps on running. She keeps on running, although her heart is broken. She keeps on running for her life because can you imagine the life of a woman who just lost her son, and she decides to continue running in the forest, running for her life, running for her freedom, and she runs so much that she dies, and she
Mm-hmm.
becomes a soul that keeps on running in the forest, and she just can't stop running. She doesn't really know what she's running for. At a certain point, she forgets, and she through the years and through the centuries, she arrives in 2022, 23, and she can watch this society, this those supermarkets, and the way people seem to be still slaves to some kind of system, and it breaks her heart. And then she meets me, of course, during my nights of songwriting. She meets me, and she invites me to share the weight of this difficult past, and she invites me to. She asks for help. She asks to be, but by sharing the weight of history, I accept to help her to find freedom, and this is how her wish comes true, and She finds relief, and the sky listens and answers her prayers. And finally, she finds wisdom, freedom, and she's able to go on the other side, light and free forever. That's the process, and I felt this connection by night with this unknown soul. I felt the process one night after the other, the process of finding freedom also for myself. And I found the capacity to share this message of freedom because here on Reunion Island, we have this background of slaves. Most Black families have slave ancestors. But today we also need to, one way to set ourselves free is to forgive and move on and embrace our own freedom. You know, stop fighting the demons of the past. Stop wasting your energy on that, and using your energy to build your new freedom and understand maybe what is it in your life today that you're a slave to. Maybe you don't realize, but there's probably something that still enslaves you. And how can you set yourself free? That's the message of the song.
Very wise words as well. Um, Sundri, would you like to give any shout outs before you go, as well as to share your social media platforms? We are going to vibe out with Tiana, but you're welcome to give your shout outs and social media handles at this time.
Thank you.
So you tell our listening audience where they can locate you. And if you would like to shout
Oh,
out anyone in the industry, you're
yes,
welcome to do so.
absolutely. So please connect with Sundri Feeling. You're welcome on Facebook, Sundri Feeling, Instagram, Sundri Feeling, Twitter, Sundri Feeling. I've recently reactivated the account, so please encourage the algorithm. And of course the website www.sundrifeeling.com, and I'll be very happy to read about you listeners, and to share how to hear how you feel about my music, and maybe give you some more deeper understanding of what I'm what I'm working on. I mean, on my mission as an artist, and and the message I'm here to share on this planet.
I thank you so much for coming through. To the listening audience, we are going to vibe out with Tiana, and then we'll be right back with some more. It's been a pleasure, Sundri. Have a blessed rest of
It's
day.
been a pleasure for me, Dr. Empress Rose. Thank you very much.
You're welcome there. Have a good one.
You too.
Au cœur de la forêt de beaux séjours, j'ai couru jusqu'à la fin du jour. La haine brûlante et la soif de vengeance apparemment ne m'ont pas porté chance. Et le maître, dans sa malveillance, a eu raison de mon inexpérience.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tuning in to the Sundri Feeling interview, we just interviewed Sundri Feeling straight out of Reunion Island. Now, Sundri Feeling, she is a self-produced artist, an outstanding composer, and a voice that takes the soul to its most secret entrenchments. Of course, it is that she embodies the conscious possession of a destiny unsealed by the painful legacies of the generations of women who preceded her. Oh my gosh. With her new album called Sundri, of course, self entitled Sundri, she proposes to pay tribute to the illustrious pioneers who inspired the momentum of her personal and artistic trajectory, starting from her island, her Mother Earth. Of course, as she highlighted within our interview today, Anne Moose, the first woman born in Reunion Island, but also the freed slave Tiana of the song that's playing in the background. Divas or anonymous, these women all represent the fortitude with which the artist has been able to identify and which she seeks to transmit her songs, true liberation manifestos in favor of hope and healing love. Ladies and gentlemen, Sundri Feeling.
Par une vague de paix et le ciel infini m'offre le respect. Au cœur de la forêt, des broussailles de mon cœur après 200 ans.